So they know enough to say, hey, who's the decision makers here? What's a real methodology that they can expose who the decision makers are? So the final contract is going to signing, it's on DocuSign, then go, oh, I got to ask, this is a CEO level decision. Oh, the CFO has to sign off on this. Oh, my partner, who you never heard of before, Loch Ness Monster, who I only meet with once every 3 months, has got to look at this. They're very smart. How can somebody get inside the organization the way you do without your sophistication and figure out who those decision makers are and map them so they don't pop up at the end as the stall point?
There's no sophistication here. This is just chess. It's just a game, right? And that's all it is to me. It's a process. So the first thing is, don't ask people who the decision maker is, because as soon as you do that, you put them in a bad position. A little thing called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is the inability for a human being to hold two opposing values in their brain at the same time without experiencing mental stress. It's really simple. If you ever tell someone you're going to do something and then you don't do it, you probably feel bad unless you're a sociopath. That's called cognitive dissonance. So if I go to Oren and say, Oren, are you the decision maker? If he tells me no, then he says I'm no longer significant. That doesn't feel good because Oren, as a human being, feels like he is a significant person. So I put him in an untenable situation where he's forced to lie to me. And because he's forced to lie to me and I'm afraid of rejection, I'm willing to accept the lie in the moment until I get to the end and I find out that that's not the truth, but he didn't mean to lie to me. I just put him in that position. So what I'm going to say is, instead of I'm just talking about human beings, right? This is just people. If I put a person in that position, there's a high probability that they're going to say yes when the answer is no. What I would say is, walk me through the process that your organization goes through to evaluate vendors in this situation. When you made a decision about this the last time, could you tell me how you did that? There probably are some other people that are going to be interested in giving us an opinion about buying a product like this or working with a vendor like me. Tell me a little bit about the other people. Notice how I asked that question. I'm assuming. Tell me a little bit about the other people who are going to be working with you to evaluate whether or not you want to work with me. By doing that, I let them off the hook. And at the same time, I'm able to listen. Now, am I still going to get BS? Yeah. Am I still going to get people walking me around the bush? Yeah. But I'm also going to kind of pull out what I call seekers, right? Seekers are where sales dreams go to die. So the person's just getting information for the boss, and then I'm going to spend a lot of my time doing that. They're not willing to match my effort. I'll find that out. So typically seekers are coming into you, right? They're inbound leads. They're coming in through a web form. They're picking up the phone and calling you. And they'll say something like, in the speaking business, you get paid to speak. They call up and they go, hey, we've got a conference coming up. We want to know how much Jeb costs, right? That happens. And so our salespeople are trained to say, well, tell us a little bit about this and what's going on. And we'll kind of fill out what's happening. And most of the time, if we get them talking, because the more people talk, the more they'll reveal. And we're listening to them, make them feel good, right? We get a little bit of a sort of a self-disclosure loop going in their brain. It's a little frame you can put people in. And they start telling us, and they'll say, yeah, well, I'm gathering all the information from my boss. And then we'll say, sounds good. Let's get your team together so we can learn about you, because we don't even know if Jeb is a fit. Again, we're using a takeaway frame, right, to pull them in, because we're saying we're not going to chase you. And if they go, no, I'm just gathering information, I'm taking it to the boss, we're out. We disengage, we walk away, because man, we have run ourselves up on that wall a million times. We're just not doing it, not on a transactional deal. So if it's like, if you're calling in and the person says, yeah, we were downloading this thing because we're kind of thinking of it, you go, great, let's get your team together. And they go, no, I'm just gathering information. I'll take it to the team. And then once I get it to the team, I'll let you know. If you're a salesperson, you've got to say, listen, the only way I'm going to be able to give you information is to learn a little bit more about you, because I got a lot of information and the last thing I want to do is completely overwhelm you and your team. So why don't we get together? I'll learn about you and then I'll tailor a package just for you. If you still get I'm just gathering information, just send it to me, move on, just go someplace else. There's plenty of places you can go. The salespeople who chase stuff like that are the people who have nothing in their pipeline. They're empty and they're desperate, right?
If you're planning to become a deal maker at this level, make sure to join the daily Dealmaker. We get into one little piece of this daily, and so you're just stacking and stacking and stacking these tools and tactics and strategies until they come out of you as naturally as they come out of me and the people that I work with. Add the tips, tools, strategies, tactics a little bit every day, and by the end of a year, you'll be a totally different, new, improved person and a very strong deal maker.